So let's see together how to set up Wacom tablet properly. Now, I don't care if you're not using a Wacom tablet. It could be any type of tablet. It can be something like this, where you can draw on this piece of hardware and look on the monitor. It could be something like a Cintiq, which is a monitor and a tablet altogether. The reason why we are working with a tablet is one, pressure. And pressure is something you cannot get with mouse. And pressure is needed because you can, like in this case, increase the opacity just because of the pressure you add with the pen, or you can work on the thickness of the line, or both. Anyway, it's really important to, has the right sensitivity on the pen, and that is something you can achieve with a little bit of setup of the Wacom tablet properties device. Now, you can have a problem the first time you work with a tablet, which is because of Windows. So even Windows has his own drivers for like pen and tablets, and that's not something you really want to have, since they try to override what you are trying to achieve with the original Wacom driver. So what to do? You can open like a file in Photoshop, and you can turn on opacity on pressure, or thickness on pressure. You can try to like draw a line, and if it like feels really natural and also it happens without any kind of lag, then okay. But if you try to draw a line and instead of drawing the line you get something like a blue circle going like in a round, then probably you have some drivers from Windows trying to override the Wacom ones. So what to do? You need to open the control panel. Okay, so go to Windows control panel. You change the view by small icons, and you will find like here pen and touch. Now you need to click in pen and touch, and then you get this pop-up, and you need to click on press and hold, and you have to deactivate completely press and hold. So you click on settings, and then you click in here. If you get this one checked, you need to uncheck it. So this is exactly how it should be. Okay, unchecked, unselected, and once it's like this, you press OK, and you press OK again, and that it's everything. Okay, that's all you need to do. And if you try again now to draw something in Photoshop, it should be a lot better, and you should not see any more that blue circle. Okay, and that's something you can do to start with. 99% of the time that option is on when you install Windows. Another thing you can do is you can go in the task manager. This is something that actually happens with old version of Windows. You need to search for a process here or in the details called imtlib. Then you just like right click on the process and end task. Now I don't have it anymore. I see that in the new Windows, that process is not there anymore. But in old version of Windows, with old versions of Photoshop, this process is there and is interfere with the Wacom tablet properties. Okay, so amtlib, if you have it and if you have problems about drawing, just stop the process, end the process. Now, when you're done with this, let's go here in the Wacom tablet properties. You can just search in Windows, search Wacom tablet properties. These will pop up if you have a tablet installed properly and connect to the computer. What to do now? Well, on the top here, you can see the device we're using. I'm using an old Intuos 4M. It's pretty cool still after like 10 years. And M stands for medium, which is the medium format you can see here, which is basically an A5. And I feel like this is the perfect size for archivets and for matte painting. Remember that size doesn't matter. This is better than others. The size, you should change the size. You should pick the size of your tablet because of the job you do. Like for us, like doing, a little bit of post-production, a little bit of matte painting. This is the nice, this is the right size. If you are into illustrations, you should go for the large one because you need a large movement of your hand. For just post-production, you can go with the small one since you don't need that much space, I would say, that much movement with your hands, okay? And then I have a Pro pen, basically this depends on the pen you are working with. And if you click on the pen, of course, you're going to change the settings of the pen. Application, you can change settings because of the software you're working with. We're working just with Photoshop, so I'm good with all. Now, what to do? Here, you need to stop the pen properly. And we should start immediately. Bring this option here, tip double click distance to off. What that means? It means that if you double click with the pen, it's not going to work, okay? And it's something you don't want to have since we are going to click a lot of times, in a very rapid, succession. So you don't want every time you click on, the canvas because you want to do some strokes to think that, Windows to think that you need to double click. So this should be off, okay? And then you go on customize, and this is where the magic happens. Now, what we want to do, why we are doing this? We are basically working on the sensitivity of the pen, of the tablet, because we want the tablet to react properly to our pressure, to our hand. So we have a different sensitivity, every one of us. So everybody should have a slightly different graph here, a slightly different setup. But at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is to make, a new line. Okay, you can try yourself. You can make a new layer. You can pick a brush. You can turn this on. So this is thickness on pressure. And what you're trying to do is this. You're trying to make a very thin line, okay, without breaks, you see? And when you want, it should become bigger because you press more, okay? So if you can do that, then that means you have total control on what you're doing, okay? In this case, you see, this is not very good. This is not precise. This is, you see the thickness change a lot of times. So I feel like I don't have control on what I'm doing, okay? So what to do? First of all, we can change the pen, the click threshold, which is this triangle looking up. What that means? It means that if you have this triangle on the left, as soon as you move the pen close to the tablet, it will start painting, okay? Now, there's a little bit of lag. It's normal. The drivers, this software works not as good as you may expect. But anyway, if you go on the right, like I normally do, it's because you want to apply more pressure to start the line. And that's cool because I don't want to, feel like I need to, be careful, too much careful, like when I go here close to the, the tablet. So I want to be able to, just press a little bit more in order to start the line. And then here, this is the sensitivity itself, okay? So how much I need to press to go thicker with the line, for example. And if you go like this, that means that you need to go a little bit more. You need to press just a little bit to then go up with the pressure, go up with the thickness. Meanwhile, if you do this, if you take this sensitivity box here on the right, in order to go up with the thickness, you need to press a lot more. Okay, so this is where the game is. This is where, you know, you should like try. You see, now I make a very thin line, and then if I press, boom, I get the thick line. And this is something you need to move and try yourself. And you know, once you find the right one, that's it. Okay. And the max pressure is basically how much you want to press on the tablet in order to get the max thickness or the max opacity, depending on the option you picked. And I don't know, if you feel like that you are pressing too much to get the big thickness, the big thick line, you know, you can just go a little bit lower with this, and you get the max thickness pressing a little bit less. So you press OK now, and then you can close this because, you know, there's no save button, and then you can go back in Photoshop and you can try now, and you see I'm able to do a lot better. You see, no variations in thickness. I'm in control of what I'm doing, and I can do something like this. So this is exactly what you need to be able to do. And unless this is the result, okay, from thin to thick, then you need to go back on the Wacom tablet properties and work on those, you know, options until you're happy, until you feel like you're exactly painting what you want to paint in terms of thickness, if you have thickness on pressure, or in terms of, you know, opacity, if you have this opacity on pressure. See? And the key word is natural. It should feel natural. Okay, if it doesn't, there's something you need to change, and you need to go back and, you know, modify. And remember that here on the tablet you have also some shortcuts, so Shift, Control, Alt, the pan, and you have a precision mode. If you press precision mode, then, you know, everything goes lower and you can be a lot more precise. Display toggle, if you have more than one monitor, you can switch from, you know, the second one to the first again. Remember that sometimes, you know, the entire tablet at the beginning goes from the first monitor to the end of the second monitor. So you need to, you know, click this display toggle button a few times, you know, in order to just get the first monitor, or the one you are working on. And then you have the ring wheel. This is I don't know if in the new tablet you still have this. I think so. If you press, you see you can basically circle from layers, brush size, rotate. The rotate one is cool. You see, we get this rotate option. If you just put the hand here, the finger here, you can rotate the canvas. And this is very, very useful, because you will see that, I mean, sometimes it's easier to draw a straight line if the canvas is rotated, like your hand on the table. And so you need to be comfortable when you do like straight lines, so you need to rotate the canvas as you want. Now then you can go back on normal and continue to do other things. Okay, so now don't take this stuff for granted. You need to stop your tablet first, and then you can continue with the course. Of course, this is you know, mandatory for chapter number I think is chapter number 4 with digital painting. And you know, if you haven't watched the video yet, you know, do it before chapter number 4. See you in the next video.